Good morning. It's Tuesday, May 9th, and today a major meeting is going to take place in the White House between the President, Joe Biden, and the Speaker of the House, Kevin McCarthy. And there will be several other major players there. Mitch McConnell will be there, Hakeem Jeffries will be there, and Chuck Schumer will be there. So we've got a band of high-level government officials meeting together in the White House to talk about the debt ceiling. Now, I'm no economist, so I can't fully say that I understand all the big problems associated with this. But the main problem is that we have borrowed so much money that we have to raise the debt ceiling in order to be able to pay our debts. Because if the United States defaults on their debts, that would be a cataclysmic event that would affect the world's economy and affect our standing in the world. So we cannot let this happen. But the question remains is, how do we get this debt ceiling under control? We did nothing during the 4 years that President Trump was in office except raise the ceiling, and increase our debt by, $6, $8, $10 trillion, some ridiculous number. But I don't want to go back into that. That's over. And I believe that the Congress is correct in wanting to control the spending in this country. And their proposal, so-called, in this new bill that they have put together will increase the debt limit by $1.5 trillion, but it also will reduce our debt by $4.8 trillion over some period of time, right? Maybe 10 years. Those seem like very high numbers, and they seem to be like an insignificant amount in my thinking. To take a debt that is over $30 trillion and only be able to reduce it by $4 trillion in this new bill, it's not a great thing, but it would keep us moving. So that's the crux of the problem that these gentlemen are going to sit down and discuss. And Biden's opinion and position up to this point is that he doesn't want anything to tie him down. He doesn't want a conditional bill that he has to deal with. He wants a clean debt ceiling raised. And the Republicans want to put stipulations in there to initiate spending cuts and reduce the amount of money that the government is spending. And in my mind, the government pisses money away left and right, because every time they create some spending bill, they get ripped off in some way, shape, or form. There's always fraud that is involved with all of these great spending bills that they put in place because of the pandemic. And of course, we're in a situation of rising inflation. So I don't know how this meeting is going to come about, but at least it's a start. But it's a very late start. Let's recognize that fact. Janet Yellen has said that June 1st we will be in big trouble. And so here we are on May 9th. That only gives us like 3 weeks to get something done. Of course, we can put together some kind of stopgap measure, which we've done in the past, that puts off the real solution to this problem for a few weeks or a few months. But we have to solve this problem. And the Democrats are working on a methodology that will allow them to get around the Republican opposition. That scheme is called a backup discharge petition plan, and it's used the force of vote. It's going to be used to force a vote on raising the debt ceiling. But the plan would need the support from at least 5 Republicans. And I don't think they're going to get that. So I think they're wasting their time on this backup discharge petition plan, because I don't think they're going to get 5 Republicans to agree with them. And so this thing may be just a distraction to get this bill moving in the right direction. And let's face it, Joe Biden hasn't done the right thing by failing to negotiate the debt ceiling, by taking this very strong position. Because I think in this country, most of the people are unhappy with the spending that's been going on. Most of the people in this country, I believe, are on the conservative side, and they don't want to keep on spending and spending and spending. And they have to pay it back, right? So I think there's some big mistakes that are being made in this entire arena. And I think that some of the proposals that the Republicans have made have been ridiculous also. But but at least they have kept Medicare and Medicaid and Social Security out of this new bill that they have presented. Now, one of the major problems in this country is the size of our military, and we need it to be big, and we need it to be fully funded. So every time you have a bill, that is not touched either. So there are so many pockets of spending that we are involved in this country. That is very difficult to come up with some kind of bill that would reduce our deficit and allow us to continue to spend money recklessly. And I'm not sure what these guys really think they can do about it. It's going to be a monumental effort. And nobody, I can assure you of this fact, that nobody's going to be 100% satisfied when this entire meeting end. They will say some good words and bad words and whatever, but for the most part the Republicans are solidly in favor of the reduction, and so I don't see that Biden's going to get any Republicans to move to his side of the table, so to speak. And while the Democrats are staunchly behind Biden, they have to recognize that we have to pay for some of the mistakes that we have made in the future. We have to recognize, and maybe we can make the Republicans recognize that the Democrats are not totally at fault in this situation, since the Republicans had major participation in the previous administration's rise in all of this situation. And of course, in the middle of all of this was the pandemic, which really tipped the balance of the way we were spending on. So I don't know what's going to come out of this meeting. I just think that we're just going to get closer to the deadline, and we're going to come up with some cockamamie plan to extend it, and I don't know that we're really going to solve this problem anytime in the near future. So I leave you with that. Not good. Have a great day. Bye.